good tea and messiness and this, that, and the third. Let's get into this. Real friends of WeHo tea. So Joey Zauzig, I should say, shout out to him too, because when I wrote this article, I posted on social media and he retweeted it. So shout out to Joey. You know, the girls is watching. So Joey, who was pretty much labeled the drama of the show, recently sat down with Ty French for an interview with Interview Magazine, and he not only spilled a lot of tea about the castmates, but he also felt that the gays didn't give the show a fair chance. Now, before we get to what he said about some of his castmates, Zauzig gave his thoughts regarding the backlash of the show, which aired every Friday after Drag Race. This is over now. That's why I said aired in the past tense. He said people are going to hate watch it. People are going to shit on it because that's kind of what happens, unfortunately, in the queer community. He told WeHo resident and podcasting king Ty French, or as I say, French. When Ty asked Zauzig about being the drama, Joey says that he was surprised to be given that title, but he also said he was surprised he was the only castmate who knew what they were getting themselves into regarding the show's subject matter, saying, and I quote, when you go on a reality show, you sign up to be vulnerable and to be yourself, and nothing can be off limits when you sign that contract, bitch. And it shares. So yeah, in the beginning, I felt like, okay, I'm the only one bringing up ish. He called out two of his castmates in particular. He says, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but certain cast members, Dorian Renaud and James Vaughn, it was very difficult to work with them. Zauzig said his issue with Vaughn was that he didn't seem willing to talk about the drama and instead wanted to be a peacemaker and mentor of sorts. With James, he was kind of like trying to be like this, I'll be your big brother, Joey reveals. Like, I don't need a big brother, and it's definitely not going to be you. Zauzig, who butted heads with Renaud out of the gate, revealed their issues ran much deeper than what was shown on camera, saying that Dorian was trying to hold his whole persona of being better than everybody. And like that didn't work out too well for him. The thing that really pisses me off, he adds, now Dorian has gone on these interviews and he's like, this isn't the show that I signed up for. What contract did you sign, sweetie? He signed the same goddamn thing. He said we signed the same goddamn thing. I want people to know he tried to go on and make it the Dorian show. I believe it. So I was like, this is around the time when he referred to the interview that I talked about, which was from Love B. Scott, where he claimed that he was misled by show's producers. Which I don't understand. If you are a mogul, come on, abs. If you're a mogul of sorts, you don't read contracts. How are you unaware of what type of show you're going to be signed on for? And everybody knows, like, if you sign on to do a show, they could do anything they want with your likeness. They pretty much own you. I've signed many contracts to go on many reality shows that never took off to know how the business works. I tried out for Fire Island eons ago before it became the thing with, this is long before it became the thing with Kelly Ripa and her husband. And then I tried out for a gay version of, once upon a time, this is around the time Rihanna's Loud came out, they were trying to do a queer version of Jersey Shore. Drove all the way to freaking Atlantic City for that audition, made it and everything, started filming. We're doing a little pilot, but they never picked it up because they wasn't ready. They wasn't ready to see the gays turn up. I'm about to drag that bitch. So what I don't understand is that why he was trying to do it. He also said that he heard that Renaud was talking to Curtis Hamilton about me behind my back. And what I don't understand is like, this is the juicy tea we could have used for the show. And he wanted to do a reunion. He was like, we could have addressed all this in the reunion, but we already know what's going to happen. Dorian was not going to show up at the reunion. Like he didn't show up and film anything with the show. And if the show does come back for a second season, do not bring Dorian back. I don't know why they brought him on in the first place. First of all, the man didn't want to admit he was a whole homosexual. I didn't sign up. You signed up on a show to be around 6 gay men. You ain't know what you were signing up for? The A-list? Los Angeles? You gonna sit up here and tell me you never heard of the A-list from 2010 and you ain't know what you was signing up for? Girl, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. And then it really pissed me off when I watched that last episode. because he went up in there and told a whole lot of Curtis about, well, they was up in there talking about your sister because she didn't want to come on the show and show up at your birthday because of the whole gay thing. That was why she ain't show up. So why is it mad that y'all trying to pull a whole Will Smith, keep my sister's name out your effing mouth? When in fact your brother was the thing that brought it up. But that's not what I heard. Dorian said that, well, his bitch ass should have showed up and not just did the whole I'm a bomb drop and then I'm a run and not show up. He gaslit his ass and you fell for a hook, line, and sinker because you knew him for 10 years. I've known many people for a long period of time and they played in my face and they got cussed the fuck out and they no longer in my life. So it don't matter how long you've known somebody. I get that, we trust people because we've known them longer and that was probably your genuine actual friend outside of these other people that you with on the show, because quiet as it's kept, y'all wasn't real friends anyway. Y'all were more like business associates that y'all would show up at functions and kind of interlink with each other in that way. So I get that whole situation. But in the beginning, I was kind of like, Joey is kind of dramatic. He was getting on my nerves, but he kind of been like the one I particularly liked on the show. Todrick, I know everybody was, and a lot of people was going in on Todrick about being part of this show. I ain't watching because of Todrick. Todrick's toxic Todrick. Y'all want to watch the show because of him and all the things that he did to a lot of people. I get it. Todrick was the least of the offensive person on the show, but I get it. Todrick was pulling a drag race queen. He was doing the Lucy LaDuca, whatever. Looney Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's what I call her. Well, a lot of you bitches be on TV self-producing. Because like, oh, I have this bad reputation, so I'm going to use this reality show to clean up my image. So is it really you, or you just up in here trying to show like you're whatever. We don't need none of that. Stop trying to act like that y'all, the self-awareness, it makes y'all come across as fake and not authentic enough. So I feel like if this show does come out, and the show did have potential, I will say this, but y'all need to bring some people on that are really going to bring the drama, because that's what you watch these shows for. People who are not scared of what you going to say, like my mistress Isabel Brooks, she don't give a good goddamn what y'all got to say about her on social media. Which is why she's giving us old school drag race and old school drag. Which is, I'm going to give my opinion on some stuff, but if you don't like it, that's your damn problem. A lot of the girls, when you in the backstage, all this stuff, they messy. They cuss each other out. They do bitches, vindictive shit. But it's all in good fun. It's entertainment. But a lot of these online fans who ain't never known a drag queen or step foot and work with a drag queen or known one or whatever, y'all want to sit up here and bully people because they talking shit about your fave. I find it entertaining. It's a cackle for me because I get it. I know a lot of drag queens. I know a lot of people in nightlife, so it doesn't faze me in the same way a lot of these sensitive ass people on social media are feeling. So overall, I feel like Dorian's full of shit. He turned out to be the villain of the season. A lot of these girls could come up on here and try to present themselves a certain way, but you know what? The camera don't lie. We'll see through the BS at the end of the day. We saw through Dorian. He refused to promote the show. I know when he went on that other show with Claudia Jordan and them, he probably was like, don't y'all mention that I was on that show, and they didn't in the interview. If you want me to give my butter skincare to be a sponsor. So they'll be up in there bullshitting about how they love his creams. And if you love his creams, that's great. But girl, nobody cares about you being a goddamn CEO. Because that's probably what you thought. You and James probably thought y'all could go up in there and just use the show to promote y'all stuff. Because quiet as it's kept, the producers didn't want James on there. They want his husband, Jonathan Bennett. Jonathan didn't want to do the show, but he ended up doing it anyway. Because by association of James, you had to appear on camera. So you was probably doing that solid to be the good husband. And you probably made a deal, well, as long as you promote our stuff, then we'll come on. So they promoted their little cruise line or whatever it's called. Nobody cared. I mean, it's cute or whatever. You want to continue to promote your shit to old people in Palm Springs or wherever. But for the most part, it's like we don't care about your business. That's not all we watch reality shows for. Y'all had to kind of just come on and do whatever. It's just like if y'all going to sign on a dotted line and do a reality show just to wrap this shit up and get to the point, y'all got to come on and actually do your job that they're paying you for. So if you got to come on and be interacting and drama and this and the third, y'all need to serve that. And to me, if y'all throw these mediocre, basic ass bitches, because the only people I thought that was entertaining on the show, I like Brad being on the show, I like Joey being on the show, and Todrick I don't think was that bad. I would like to see them do more stuff with Todrick in regards of him with the music, using the opportunity to promote his music more, his stage performances, all that stuff. If y'all kind of push more into that, that would be great. But also interact the show. Let's bring on some drag queens, some sex workers, some go-go boys, and some social media influencers like bloggers, commentators, people like myself. We'll definitely bring it to you. Well, if y'all did a New York version, I'll definitely try for that.